Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today on Ramblings, whoo, do I have a story to tell for you. Well, first off, it's raining. Oh my gosh. I'm out here working on the off-grid barnhouse foundation. The termite shield is done. Started working on squaring everything up and getting the sill and sill plates on. Guys, you're going to hear it first here. The first piece of wood has been attached to the off-grid barnhouse here on the ridge. That's right. The first piece of wood is attached. It's only taken me 2 years to get one piece of wood, but it's done. It's done. That's not the story, guys. I promise you, that's not the story. I was actually hoping, well, the camera's getting fogged up. It is so humid right now. It rained, been raining for about 20 minutes now. I said, you know what? Put my tools up. Storm's coming. The wind started blowing. Thunder and lightning. Everything, cameras are all started fogging up and everything. I said, let me just clean everything up, get all my tools put up. I'll get a rambling for you all. I should have done this earlier today. I apologize. I got to get over and see my wife, Meredith. Ooh, I miss my wife. I miss my wife. But, yes, guys, I'm looking right now. The very first piece of wood is attached. It's a sill plate, okay? Guys, there's a 2x8 by 16 foot long sill plate on the foundation. Getting there was pretty amazing. Because you guys got to remember, the Morgan and I, my son Morgan, we came out here 2 years ago. As soon as I got this land cleared, right? And we got compasses and we got phones and we got GPS and we were squaring everything up and we put the stakes in the ground and then I had the foundation put in and you know they put it right where I said to put it, 40 feet by 40 feet by 40 feet. Got the columns in there and everything. Well, guys, I had to get Grandma Carol to help me today. That's right. We had to get our tape measure and pull it out to do a little math, a little mathification. Pythagorean theorem was used, right? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's kind of like over at, when I was over at David's, you know, with Melanie and Gary and Anthony and Anthony over there and Jason from White Rock. I said, you know, when does 13 equal 14? Or when does 11 equal 12? You know, 3 plus 3 equals 9. You know, I was doing all that stuff. Anyway, we got the Pythagorean theorem going today. And guys, you're going to have to wait and see if the house is square. Wow. Wow to the wow wow. Wow to wow, bow, brown cow. All right, so the story. Okay, enough with the work. The work is on hold because of the rain. I am soaking wet too, guys. This is a gray shirt. I don't know if you can see it's gray right here, but it's black everywhere else. It was soaking wet with sweat, and then it got soaking wet with rain. Because the sun was out earlier, guys. It was just baking us. We were out there doing the tape measuring and everything. It was just baking us. All right. So yesterday, I went to hospital to see a family member. They are doing much better. Thank you, by the way. Some people are asking, what, you know, who is it and what, you know, privacy, family, you know, not everyone, you know, wants to announce their, you know, ailments and things, you know, so, but family members in the hospital, and they are doing much better. So thank you all for your thoughts and prayers. Appreciate that. So I left out of the hospital yesterday, jumped in the old Beast F-250 trimmer, and I was pulling out of the parking lot. This is the story, guys. Okay, I was pulling out of the parking lot. In case you didn't know, Tim's finally getting to the story. I was pulling out of the parking lot and I see these two ladies. There was a pickup truck and a car, and it looks like they were trying to jump start one or the other. And they were kind of doing this right here. And so I rolled my window down. And I said, y'all okay? Truck won't start. Okay, well, you mind if I look at it? Sure, go ahead. So I whip on around, park, and I get out and say, yeah, we're trying to jump start this truck off this car, and they had jumper cables, and they actually had them all connected right and everything. And I was like, well, go ahead and try to start it for me. She said, it won't start. I said, I just need to hear it. I need to hear if it's trying to turn over. I need to hear if it's just going click, or if it's going or if it's going, you know. I need to hear the noises. And I'm not a mechanic, and I don't play one on YouTube either. But I said, just turn it over. So I'm looking under the hood, and I go, ho, 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 ho. No need to try to turn it over. I see what your problem is. You got a problem right here. I said, come out of here, come out of here. So she gets out, and I say, you see this battery right here? You got the red, which is the positive terminal, and you got the big old red cable and a little bitty red cable, you know, attached to it. Then over here on this other side, you got the negative, the black, and it's got a clamp on it, and it should have these two big old black wires, you know, going right there to that clamp. Only there was no two big old black wires. The clamp that goes on the terminal of the battery, you know, it goes around. It's a round lead terminal, goes around it, clamps, and then it has a little bracket that comes up, and these two big heavy gauge black wires bolt to that. Well, that bracket broke off, and the black wires were down in the bottom of the car. So it was not going to jump start. It was not going to jump start. I said, well, there's your problem right there. And so I pulled it up. I said, let me get my tools. Let me see if I can at least get you to AutoZone. Because let me take it apart, see what actually broke, and maybe AutoZone can take care of you. So I get my tools out of my truck and got them all laid out, you know, all pretty and organized and everything. Opened up the case, and I got the two lugs off the bolt and everything. Got the clamp off the battery. And I said, this is what you need right here. And I held the bracket that was broken and the clamp. And I said, take a picture of this. And she took a picture of the two pieces. And I said, when you go to AutoZone, this is what you want. I said, you got really, really lucky. I mean, you got really lucky, because these two big old black wires, the lugs on them, the crimped on lugs, are not broken. If one of those broke off, you either have to replace the entire crimped cable all the way back to the next junction, or you have to cut it. Hopefully you got enough length, and you have to have this big mechanical lug crimper, which most people don't have those, to crimp cables like that big around, right? More like that big around. I didn't do this finger, okay? I did this finger. So, but she got lucky. I said, your lugs are, the cables with the lugs on them are good. It's just this bracket. I said, you know what? I'm going to see if I can get this wedged in there so you can start your truck and drive to AutoZone, and maybe they'll have the bracket, which they should, and maybe they'll even put it on for you if they're really nice guys, you know? Most of these small country towns have nice guys. At least there's a nice guy somewhere, right? There was one. I try. So I take apart everything, and I go, you know what? The clamp had a really long, like 7/16 bolt through it. And I said, you know, maybe I'll put both those lugs on the end of that bolt, put the nut on there, and then tighten it down and let the clamp on the lead post, and the two lugs would be pushed together and have enough surface area to conduct, you know, electricity flow. That was the plan, at least. So I had to go get my pliers, which I had organized in my toolkit, right? Got my pliers, and I had to finagle the lug over, get the bolt through. Finagle the lug over, get the bolt through, get it through the clamp, and then I had to grab a hold of the wrench and twist it and slide it over the post of the battery terminal, and then hammer it down on there till it was on. And then I got my wrench and I tightened the nut down. I didn't tighten it too tight. I said, all right, let's just try this first. Go ahead and try to start your truck. Start your engines. So she gets in there and it doesn't start. I was like, what's the problem here? She goes, oh, wait a second. I wasn't pushing the brake down or something. I don't know. Okay, just saying. So she pushed the brake down or whatever. She turned it over, and it was a Toyota Tundra. It was a big black Toyota Tundra, older one. It started right up. I said, good, turn it off. So I went ahead and said, I'm gonna tighten this down. I'm looking at it, and it actually looks like a pretty good connection. I'm gonna tighten this down so everything's tight, no loose wires. And I said, come here, ma'am, come here. I'm gonna show you something. So I told you this part broke. You go up to AutoZone. If they have it, they can replace it for you. But looking at the work we got done here today, those two lugs are right on each other. They're on a big old piece of metal, the clamp, and the clamp is tight on the post. I said, this is a semi-permanent fix. It's quasi-temporary, right? Quasi-permanent. I said, I would drive this to Las Vegas. I said, I would drive this to Vegas. You know, not that I've ever been to Vegas, but I would drive that to Vegas. I said, you can take it up to AutoZone, show them the piece and everything, and I'd at least buy that piece because something could happen. And actually, if one of the lugs break off, you're gonna wish you'd put it on. But they started it up. They got it going. They had a little baby with them too. I felt really bad once I saw the baby too. I said, man, I'm glad we got this going for you. So they got up. They got all going and everything. I took off home, and that was fun. I mean, I would hope everybody would do that, right? Especially a man. If a man sees a woman or women in distress like that, I mean, a lot of times women will be fearful of the man pulling over to help them and everything. Of course, I was in the hospital parking lot, and there's police and security and all that stuff, so a little more secure location, right? Lights and everything, you know. It was daylight still. But you just got to help your fellow man, or woman in this case. And sometimes they'll say yes, they'll accept your help. Sometimes they'll say no, which is fine. They have that prerogative. They call AAA, right? Some people got AAA. I bet Meredith's got AAA. I'm her AAA now. I need to let her know that I'm her AAA. You can always call your husband. A lot cheaper. Now maybe sometimes we'll want AAA because it depends on where we're at, and you know, hey, you're 6 hours, 10 hours away. You might want to just call your AAA there, baby. But you got to help your fellow man, and it felt really good. It felt really good that I could get it fixed, or at least I try. Even if I wouldn't have got it fixed, I had to try. I can't just drive by. And it was so hot, guys. It was so hot. It was still in the late afternoon, but you know how humid, hot it gets here in the Mid-South. Oh, man. Oh. All right, well, I'm going to finish cleaning up. I'm tickled pink. In case you can't tell, I'm not just tickled pink because I got the lady's car fixed. I'm tickled pink because I got the first piece of wood on the Ridge farmhouse. Yeah, farmhouse, yeah. I'm excited. I'm not excited that the wind, Grandma Carol came up here to help me, and she had put these eggs in a box. And she walked off and forgot the box. And then when the wind and the storm came up, it blew the eggs off on the ground. I only saved one of them. So Grandma Carol, you forgot the eggs. We only got one left. The other one's broke. So, all right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. We did get it fixed. Broke down, got it fixed. It's Happy Friday, everyone. I'll be heading over to Meredith's here in just a little bit. I think Hudson's got a scrimmage football game tonight. So Meredith and I will head out and be out there this evening. And this weekend, of course, we've got church. And next weekend's my granddaughter's birthday. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So I'll be there the next weekend. But lots of fun summer stuff still happening. School's starting soon, though, guys. School is starting soon. I think actually school starts next week for Will and Hudson. So, guys, love every single one. If you like today's video, give it a big old thumbs up. If you got a hype on a mobile device, hit it. Speaking of hit that notification bell right down there. Be notified anytime a new video comes out on one of my channels. And guys, until next time, hope everyone has a blessed day. Keep rambling. Go Ridge Life. Wood on the off-grid barn house. Yes.